What's going on, guys? Welcome to another episode of View for Demons of the Shadow Realm. This is episode 12, and with me, as always, I have Bluespade.
Yeah, and of course, this is well, I guess you could say the end of the first half of the
Yeah, but I mean, I guess we
first
don't really
core.
have to wait as long for the
And
next
of course,
core, or as we do with like ReZero, for instance. But yeah, I mean, yeah, this is the last episode for the first core.
yeah, and we see Yuta crafting arrows for his bow, and then um, we also see Ken asking him how asking Yuta how to craft weapons as well, or basically just in a way like learning how to use weapons. Uh, for for him to be more skilled at defending himself. Um, and of course, at the same time, Jin at the mansion tries to investigate the manor walls and like how the intruders got in. Supposedly, it was like a gate. Like the intruders said that there was a gate that they were able to get through. But of course, like I initially suspected it was that
Hmm.
mangaka guy, but they confirmed that the wall itself, uh, if it really was him, it would have left behind it's like everything that he makes or replaces would have a colorless look to it before the color comes back to what he created. So they confirmed that it's not him, but they did find these two like subtle lines, as if like the gate the wall itself was like cut, uh, with
Yeah,
something.
um, yeah. So I mean, that there's still a mystery with that, like who could have done that. Um, and
Yeah, but we do get kind of confirmation of who was responsible of behind the attack at the Kagemori Manor, and it was
mm,
revealed to be Asuma this whole time, and he goes to meet with his uncle, uh, about what happened after the attack, and his uncle berates him as to why he didn't take advantage of the situation of taking control of either of the two twins. Of course, Asuma gives his reasons as to why he couldn't do it himself because with Yudu, he has left and right, um, looking after him. As for Asa, he 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 doesn't do it with her because I guess he has a sense of morality of in a way that he's not allowed to take advances with a 16-year-old
yeah,
girl or something like that.
they kind of make a joke out of it in a way where it's like, yeah, that
Yeah,
um also, we see that like in another scene where Asa tries to like I think she calls her like her grandmother, um, and we see that like her grandmother apparently I think it was her grandmother in Okinawa, and her grandmother is like it seems like she's being controlled like a puppet almost, where she just like says the same thing like over and over again, like every time like Asa calls, she just says the
yeah.
same thing, and even after she hangs up, she just keeps repeating the same thing.
hmm Yeah, and of course, at the same time, Yudo and the others also try to investigate what happened to his parents, and of course, this also leads them back, to his grandmother who's living in Okinawa. So I could expect. I mean, Asa is is very aware that something's going on with their grandmother, but of course, Yudu doesn't know this. So we could assume that Yudu is gonna end up seeing his grandmother in Okinawa somehow.
Yeah, I mean, I assume that he'll probably, figure out that's well. I mean, I guess Yoru could do something about it, whereas Asuka can't really do anything about it, considering she's just like stuck at the mansion.
hmm
So like, I guess Yoru would
Yeah,
see there's something up with her and try to figure out like who's the one controlling her.
yeah. But of course, I think Dara advises Yudu against going to meet his grandmother for, I guess you could say it's for the exact same reasons that
Yeah.
Asa suspects. So, yeah, Dera goes out and he meets one of his contacts called the Shaman. Um, but I mean, we both know that Dara. you used to go over to the village, drop off some, some supplies and some goods to the village from time to time. We also find out that the shaman is also doing the same as well, transporting shipments of medicine to the village as well. So the shaman later in the episode, um, well, we also get to see like I think it was like this new character named Ivan who's um we saw him during the attack in the Kagemori Manor a few episodes ago, but we see him like he wields a pair of demon katanas, and it looks like he was about to kill the shaman, but he ends up vanishing somewhere out of nowhere, so the shaman doesn't know what happened. So he goes over to the village, to Asa and Yura's village, to take a shipment of medicine over there, and of course he sees the results of like the attack of what the Kagemori uh, it did to the village, as well as like what Gabby. I mean, we see the girl like that little girl whose mother's head got decapitated by Gabby's demon, which obviously
Mm.
traumatized her for obvious reasons. Um, but yeah, so I mean, like, of course, like the shaman talks to the villagers, and the villagers were like, if they wonder if like they should have awakened left and right earlier, but but of course the shaman, I guess he reassures them that those bandits that were sent after you were all killed, but then all of a sudden like Ivan suddenly just cuts himself out of the shaman's body using
Yeah.
his demon katanas, and it's like he cuts like a giant square hole in his stomach, and
Yeah,
he's
that was
not
like,
dead from that.
yeah, I was like, what?
It's like,
How does he survive that? Like, yeah, he just cut himself out of him. Um, but
yeah, and then of course soon afterwards, like the episode just immediately ends as soon as like he starts slaughtering,
yeah, I mean, I
whoever's
guess the
left in the
village is
village, I
about to
guess.
be,
But
everybody's about to be slaughtered there again. Like, he's just gonna go through and just slaughter everybody else, or everybody who still remains. Um, yeah,
yeah, it was a weird way to end the episode just abruptly
yeah,
like
and
that.
that's the end
But
of the first core too.
at least we don't. Yeah, I mean, but at least we don't have to wait much
Yeah,
longer. I mean, the episode is going on like on a 1 week break, but like I said, we don't need to wait that long in comparison to some of the other shows that is technically getting a continuation into the summer season. But yeah, it was a pretty decent episode in terms of plot development. Um, I mean, I still have to wonder what Asima's goals are, like of wanting to go after the twins himself, and why he even um, went through the trouble of like causing all that mayhem in the
yeah. I mean,
mansion
I
in the
guess at
first
least we found
place.
out who was behind that, but it still just feels like we're left with just even more questions though. Like we still don't know what the hell's going on. Um, like, well, and I mean, I guess the big mystery is like what the who's controlling their grandmother, what happened with their parents, and then like this, Ivan or whatever. Like now he's coming to attack the village again. Um, yeah, but
Yeah. Well, this is the
yeah.
first time we've seen him
Oh well, no, yeah, well,
infiltrate the
yeah. I
village,
meant
so
like
it's
the
not like,
village is being assaulted again just by Ivan, um, but yeah, I mean it's a fairly strong first half. I would say it's definitely interesting. I want to see where the series goes. But
yeah. I mean, although like I do feel like the entire first half had a lot of, well, it tried to do a lot of exposition, but at the same time, it's still keeping a lot more details away from us
mhm.
on purpose. I mean, like, yeah, we did get information that's like who is responsible for the attack, but we just don't know like the hows and whys of like of the both parties that are like pretty much at each other's throats for whatever
Yeah,
reason.
yeah, and that's like the thing I really kind of want to know the most is like what exactly is the motivation? Like, why are they even doing this in the first place? Um, but yeah, I don't have much else to say about the episode though. I thought it was pretty decent for the most part. Um, I'm interested to see where it's going to go from here. But yeah, I don't have much else to say though. I don't know if you have anything else to say about it.
I don't know. It was a like I said, it was a pretty decent first half. It's just but it just feels like it felt a little bit slow at certain points. Just just because like we barely got and there were barely any like action sequences from here and there outside of the whole like intro and the Kagemori mentioned bit. It's just a lot of dialogue and exposition heavy moments, but it just feels like just too much is still being kept away from us for the
Yeah,
time
I would
being.
pretty much agree with that. That's kind of like that's kind of been my main issues with it. But I guess we'll see. Like maybe it'll get better. But we'll see. But yeah, guys. So that all being said, until next time, we will see you all later.